right. So Claude came out with probably about 3 months ago a feature called Design. And with this design feature, you can get in here and you can create all kind of marketing things. But the first thing that you can do is create your design system, your marketing brand. And so just to save it from me having to wait to 5 minutes to generate it, when you click on design, it's going to ask you to set up your system. You can put in your company name, you can link any of your files, your logos, and you can put any notes. And for here, I just put our logo in here and told it to pull information from our website. And then it'll say, do you want to generate? It'll take 5 minutes. And then after that, you get this amazing branding skill that they call a design system. And you can create multiple ones. But what it does is it can create everything for you. It creates your brand, it creates the different colors, your graduates, your logos. It can tell you what your slogans are, what the different scales that you use. It can even go down here and tell you what to use for your buttons, your badges. How do you like your buttons? How do you like your spacing? How do you want your display headings? It'll even give you like a home page for your website. And then what you can do is you can go in here at any time and build things out. So if you wanted to create an SOP template and all you had to do was say, hey, I want to create an SOP template for our company using this design system, and it's going to build it for you. And then when you go up here, you're going to see project files, and you'll be able to have all of your assets, like your logos are going to be here. Any of the components or guidelines that you have, any templates that you build will be here. And then they have what's called pages. And so if you built out dashboards or anything like that, you can easily go in here and you can click it. You can open it up. You'll be able to see it. This is just one it just created. And then if you wanted to share it, you're able to share it with your company where they can comment, they can edit, or they can view only. This is a new feature in the last week because it did not have that a week ago. So everybody either got edit or view only. And so now you can have all three of those. So you can share it with your marketing team who needs editing access, and then with your team who only needs to view access. And then you can also, export it out in a PDF, PowerPoint, the standalone HTML, or other formats. You just have to go through here and figure out which one is best for that fit. I do think this saves a ton of time, and it's also now using the usage like your regular Claude. So before last week, it had its own usage tokens and it would quickly run out, whereas now it goes off of your plan. So all of it's shared. Your code, your chat, and your design system all share the same usage. So when you run out, you just run out until it comes back up. But one of the great things that it does also is right here, it'll say start a new chat to save 131,000 tokens. If you do that, then it'll still have that same memory and you're not starting all over again and losing that token. So it's actually like a token cache. So it helps you save on your usage. And so you can do that anytime that you want to. Normally, if you go back in there, it'll ask you if you want to. So that way it's trying to help you save on those tokens in the usage. And so that's been extremely helpful. I have noticed that I get a lot more usage now than it did before it done this. And so I think that's about all of it on that one, but you'll be able to see any of the information. It'll also do a README. And so it will tell the company how you want this used. You can go in here and you can edit this, you can comment on it, or you can make changes right here. So you're able to see all of those. Did I miss anything, Mark?
No, I think that's good. And I think so to kind of differentiate between what you're doing there and what we're talking about with the branding skill, Claude Design is a feature just in Claude. So this is great if you're a company and you're using Claude. Some of the other ones are coming out with a similar platform, but this is Claude Design. So if you're using Claude Design, you wouldn't necessarily need our branding skill that we're providing you. But if you're using a different platform, that's where that branding skill can really come into play. And it also helps enforce that branding skill if you're using an organization where you want that branding skill to be enforced across the whole company.
And I will say that I do think it builds out a lot more of your branding guide that even most people who are in marketing that I've done this for, they were like, wow, I didn't even know that it could do all of that. And then if you ask it to build out a skill for your Claude, and you can put this into another AI as well, because I've done that as well, it will build out your branding skill in there, and then it will attach all of your assets. So all of your logos, anything that you have put in there, it will attach it. So when you go and put it in your skill, then it has all of that for you, and it's already packaged in there, and you can use it across multiple ones.
Yeah. That's great. And you also hit on something there that I want to talk about real quick, because I don't think a lot of people realize this. If you're in a situation where you're using AI a lot, or even if you're just getting started, it's important to understand how usage works. So all these things pretty much have a limitation of how much you can use in a designated period of time. Most of them are, I believe it's like a 24-hour cycle now for almost all of them now, right, Jess?
So no, mine's been every couple of hours. Mine resets like every 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
Mine resets every 4 or 5 hours. But now we have a pro package.
Right. So a couple hours. So one of the things that you can do that a lot of people don't realize when you're doing the tokens, when you run out of usage, a lot of times is if you're trying to do 15 things and you're doing them all in the same chat, you have to realize that every time you submit a new question or a new statement to the same chat, it has to process everything else that's in that existing chat to understand the previous conversation. So one of the things you don't want to do if you're on a pro plan and you're planning to use a lot of AI is to have one conversation in which you're just doing all your stuff, because it's gonna, every time you kind of pick up something else, it's kind of reading a bunch of nonsense to do that thing again. So that's where it's very beneficial to use either new chats or a project feature, which will I think I have that on to cover next month, is exactly what a project is and why you would want to use it and that type of thing. But keeping one long running chat is not how you want to operate in AI anymore. When they initially came out with memory, people were doing that to try to get as much, for it to memorize things. But now it does it in a way in which you don't need to have just a weeks long chat in order for it to remember everything that you've already gone through. Is there something you want to add on like the best way to, minimize your hitting those usage blocks?
I would definitely say using the design and following the new chat continue here. You can also, I do feel like that the skills save on usage, because you don't have to constantly tell it what to do or how you want it done. It just knows now. And so I do feel like that helps a lot on it. So if you build out enough skills, then you're going to save on that usage. But then also having your guardrails and exactly how you want things done also helps. The project folders are probably my favorite on usage token optimization, is the project folders that we'll go through the next time.